Great. Thank you very much for that introduction, Hector. Okay. So over the past few weeks, there's been a lot of hoopla in the media and in the internet surrounding SOPA, PIPA, ACTA, Anonymous, and basically everything surrounding that. Now, you may have heard something about it. Some of you know a lot about the subject. Maybe you're not too familiar with it. But what I intend to do tonight is give an overview of everything that's been going on over the last couple of weeks. So, a few weeks ago, news of the Stop Online Piracy Act, SOPA, and the Protect IP Act, PIPA, started to appear. Both were proposed by Lamar C. Smith, congressman for the state of Texas. Both acts were similar, and although their goal was to prevent online piracy, their methods were far too extreme, giving the clear impression that Lamar Smith and SOPA's creators either wanted total control over the internet or simply didn't really understand how the internet works. Essentially, SOPA and PIPA would empower the US government to block any website found to be guilty of enabling users to have access to pirated content. Think that sounds fair? This means websites such as YouTube, Facebook, and even Google could all be blocked because of individual users uploading work that they do not own exclusively. It also means that you could face jail time for simply copying an image or uploading your favorite music video to YouTube. In a truly historical stance, the people of the internet quickly took note of SOPA and PIPA, and through resistances, both raised and gained an incredible amount of awareness and knowledge on the subject. The campaigns were promoted through social networking sites such as Facebook, Twitter, but also through news sites like Mashable and Reddit, and as well as informal but high web traffic sites such as 9gag and 4chan. In this vendetta against online piracy, the United States also went after an England college student by the name of Richard O'Dwyer, who simply had created a website that only linked to pirated content or copyright infringing material. Their intent was to extradite him to the United States, even though his crime in the United States wasn't even a crime at all in England. Now, if you've heard of any part of this event, it's probably January 18th, Blackout Day, the day the internet went dark, a day to raise awareness, particularly to those in Congress. Major websites around the world simply staged a blackout. They went dark either by shutting themselves down entirely or by blocking access to part of their content. So for instance, Google put a black bar over that logo that day. Craigslist put up a warning which explained what would happen if SOPA passed. And they also gave information about how you could fight it. Mozilla took part in this as well, as did Wikipedia. They blocked all content to their site that day and put this up that said, "Imagine a world without free knowledge." A website called Minecraft participated as well. Wired blocked all their content, although they had a button that said "Uncensor this page," and you could click on it and it would tell people why it's being censored. And WordPress.com, a blogging site, also blocked all their content and encouraged all of their bloggers to do the same with their websites, take them down. So the blackout was a success. Enough members of Congress changed from a pro-SOPA stance to an anti-SOPA stance, and SOPA was in the end, or at least for the time being, defeated. The web hosting company GoDaddy had briefly, for one day, supported SOPA, and in that day, websites such as Reddit and Mashable promoted a GoDaddy boycott, and they lost 20,000 subscribers in that day for simply supporting SOPA. Almost immediately following the failure of SOPA, the FBI raided the headquarters of the web giant Megaupload, a site where people can go to upload their content, watch videos. Megaupload had servers in Virginia and the Netherlands. So they shut them down and they arrested the owners, and I believe the company was worth something about $175 million. Now, what really makes this act questionable, however, is that Mega Upload was apparently just days away from the release of a service called Mega Box, which would allow artists to upload music and keep 90% of the money made from the sales of this. This is an act that would basically destroy recording labels such as Universal Music. So very, very questionable. The shutdown sparked a huge amount of controversy, and within 15 minutes of Mega Upload being taken offline, the hacker group known as Anonymous launched a series of denial of service attacks, which basically means many computers that they have under their control all go to one website at the same time, overload the servers, and shut them down. They did this against governments and corporations that supported internet censorship and opposed free speech. Not only did they remove the FBI website within 15 minutes, but they also took down NASA, the US Department of Justice, the FTC, CBS, Universal Music, the RIAA, MPAA, Sony, MasterCard, and Visa, all who had supported SOPA. Now, not only have the actions of Anonymous sparked major support from all types of internet users, but many users have actually volunteered their computers to help take part in these syndicated denial of service attacks through a tool called the Low Orbit Ion Cannon. Traditionally, a denial of service attack is something you're not even aware your computer is doing. It's become victim to a hacker through clicking on a phishing link sent through an email or a sketchy looking link on Facebook or something along those lines. So the mere fact that internet users are actually volunteering to allow their computers to take part in these really is a prime example of how far people are willing to go to fight for internet freedom. Following the Megavideo takedown, several websites such as VideoBB, FileServe, and FileSonic, which are similar to Megavideo but not as large, voluntarily remove themselves from the internet as well, saying so the FBI's attack did have some effect with their scare tactics. Now, you think it's all over? Lastly, the final straw to this great internet war is something called ACTA, the European Union's Anti-Counterfeiting Trade Agreement, which is essentially the same thing as SOPA, except it's on a global scale. And it doesn't have as big of a resistance as SOPA did. Even worse, Canada has already signed the Act and is currently working on passing Bill C-11 in order to ratify the agreement. Now, I shouldn't have to mention how dangerous ACTA is by this point. Similar to SOPA, that should be enough information. There are petitions online that you can go to sign so we don't have this internet censorship in Canada. I have a link here. I can also email that out to the club if anyone's interested. But in a nutshell, this is the great internet war of 2012 so far. One way or another, history is in the making. Thank you.